That's correct. So there's a world of difference between what I'm working on most of the time, which is cryopreservation, and hypothermic preservation. Hypothermic preservation, in some level, is much easier, but you have to deal with specific biochemical pathways of hypothermic injury. Whereas if you just put everything on hold in the cold, nothing happens. You don't necessarily have to figure out every specific biochemical mechanism of hypothermic injury or even of the response to cryoprotectants. So what I'm doing in a sense is much more difficult than hypothermic preservation, but in a sense it's much easier because I don't have to solve all of the biochemical problems up front. However, we know that there are animals that can hibernate for long periods of time. There are frogs that can be frozen and can stay in a frozen state for several weeks or even months. There are rumors that a Siberian salamander can go down to minus 45 and survive in the frozen state. And that's a pretty complicated animal. So there are opportunities for short-term suspended animation or partial suspended animation. I mean, formally, I would say suspended animation is when all biochemical activity is arrested so that you can preserve indefinitely. But from a practical point of view, that's not necessary as long as your storage time is not longer than the safe period of storage. So, for example, we can take a kidney out of a patient today, flush it with a cold storage solution, pack it in ice, and we can't keep it there forever, but we can keep it there for a couple of days and transplant it, and the recipient will survive. So that's close enough to suspended animation to get the job done for the time being for that particular application. So you're quite right. There's quite a large spectrum of low temperature preservation technologies that could be very significant for medical applications, including organ preservation, short-term hypothermia, long-term hypothermia for something like a trip to Mars, and maybe someday, true organ banking and trips way beyond Mars.